Hey, running out of time, what's up? It's a Culture Detective here investigating your favorite albums. And today I'm going to do an album review on the latest Sons of Kemet album, Black to the Future. So Sons of Kemet is a UK Afro jazz group, and this is their latest album, Black to the Future. Apparently, it's already been 3 years. I for real thought it's only been 2 years, but actually, it's already been 3 years since they have released their last album. Your Queen is a Reptile, which is a really raw, fiery, intense Afro jazz album with a lot of personality, amazingly layered instrumentals, absolutely fantastic jazz album. One of the first few jazz albums that actually got me into jazz in the first place. And so we have their latest album. Sons of Kemet has returned with two drummers, saxophones, tubas, horns, and vocals as well. And they're still as exhilarating and as exciting as ever. And also we have this album, and the track list of this album actually builds a poem, which is really cool. But just like Your Queen is a Reptile, this album opens off and ends off with two spoken word pieces, and it sort of wraps the album around with these really serious and poetic and sometimes bone-chilling and very conscious spoken word. And they're very poetic, they're very strong, the performances are very intense, and I like these tracks as well. We have the track Pick Up Your Burning Cross, which is right off the bat fiery, intense, layered. We got these very busy and bustly instrumentals, honking saxophones, fast grooves, and we also have More Mother on this track delivering a very strong performance on poetic lyrics, and it is a great album opener in my opinion. Then we have the track Think of Home, which is more laid back but even more groovy. The tubas and the drums sort of form a groove together and it sounds amazing. And also we have the track title is called Think of Home, and when I listen to this track, it really sounds like this track is trying to be more homely and be more comforting instead of the very intense, fiery, busy tracks that Sons of Kemet would usually do. This is more laid back and homely. It's almost like if there are protagonists in this album, they're actually thinking about home when this track comes on. And then we have the track Hustle, and it's definitely one of the highlights on the album for me. We got a very solid and grounded rap flow from Koji Radical, and underneath we got these chugging tubas and these clickety clackety drumsticks, and together it just forms this very steady groove, and it just sounds amazing. It's very tight and I really like it. The ending to this track is a little bit underwhelming because it just fizzles out with a psychedelic splash, but still the track in its core is amazing. We have the track For the Culture, which is very danceable. We got these very serious and off-kilter horns and also very casual and charismatic rapping, which makes this track sound both strange but also lively. And we have the track To Never Forget the Source, which is where the album starts to get a little bit more mild, where this track we have these very tame horns and it just sounds like a very extended interlude. And we have the track In Remembrance of Those Fallen, which is one of the more cinematic cuts on the entire album. We got these fluttery flutes which sounds really strange, and then it sort of builds up to something that's almost, dare I say, Middle Eastern flavored because of how dramatic and strange the chord progression get. And it's definitely one of the more interesting cuts on the entire album. We also have the track Let the Circle Be Unbroken, which is one of the milder tracks on the album. The horns and the drums are mid-paced and they don't really progress at all. And we have the track Envision Yourself Levitating, and even though I like the very entrancing instrumentals on this thing, the marching drums, the hypnotic leads, but the track is like 8 minutes long, and for 8 minutes it also doesn't really go anywhere, it doesn't reach anything, so it's definitely one of the more underwhelming tracks here. The track Throughout the Madness, Stay Strong is more fiery, but the build-up takes a very long time, and it's not like it's rewarding or anything. And also the track overall is just not something that groundbreaking or crazy from Sons of Kemet. And of course the album ends off with Black, which is a spoken word piece with intense performances and lyrics about power struggle, oppression, and police brutality, and it serves as a really strong finisher for the album. So yeah, while this album isn't anything like Your Queen's a Reptile, it is milder, tamer, more elegant, and actually musically a little bit more versatile as well. But there are also a lot of milder moments in this album, but still really solid. Still one of the better albums I've heard this year so far. I'm still enjoying a good chunk of the songs on this album. My favorite track here is probably In Remembrance of Those Fallen. And my least favorite is Let the Circle Be Unbroken. I'm giving Sons of Kemet Black to the Future a strong 7 out of 10. So, have you listened to the latest Sons of Kemet? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like it, and subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching. I will be reviewing St. Vincent, 21 Pilots, and Olivia Rodrigo, and Black Midi, and Portal, and Natalia Lafourcade.